Another day, another. Okay, we on. Let's get that set up. And Q&A. Yeah, for people to pop in. How do you think this? So yeah, hello, good evening, everyone, and I hope you got tea, got your biscuits, got everything sorted, got ready. I literally just wanted to go live for a little bit just to talk about this news story that's been about today. Saw it on GB News. The migrant at the centre of the Epping protest, the one that was arrested for sexually assaulting the teenage girl, and the woman that tried to step in to stop it, um, has been released and freed by mistake. So instead of being sent for deportation like was intended, he's actually been released and there's now a manhunt underway. So apparently from Chelmsford or in Chelmsford about 12 o'clock today. So instead of being sent from prison to deportation, he was instead released. Apparently there was multiple checks along the way, but it was an administrative error where they made a mistake on the paperwork and released him. So as far as I'm aware, he's still on the run till further notice. Last seen in a grey prison tracksuit, carrying a carrier bag. Given only has a little amount of money, given £80 upon release. Described by the judge as a sexual predator and a danger to people. So the police have said it's human error, and it's basically been caused, like I said before, by people making the mistake on the paperwork, and then along the way it not being checked or confirmed whether they should or should not have been released. And so apparently, after multiple checks, he was still released. Um, how long? My question is, how long will it take to? I know, I don't know, I don't understand how these things happen. How long will it take for them to actually recapture him and deport him like he should have been? This man was responsible for sexually assaulting a 14-year-old girl and another woman who tried to step in to stop it. And the judge had described him as a sexual predator. So, yeah, definitely not someone that should have been released, someone that definitely should have been deported. But considering Keir Starmer's government's current one in, one out policy has deported all of about 50 people, it's not going very well, frankly. Pretty sure more than that come in on each boat. Why are they given all of the benefits of having a hotel, doctors, foods, everything else they could possibly need, as well as being allowed to work, whether it's through illegal working or other things? It's nice. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. It's just my hair. But yeah, I think that people coming into the country illegally in the first place isn't acceptable. There's people out there who are trying to come in legally in the first place who are then having their opportunities completely destroyed rather than waiting properly, correctly. They're coming through multiple European countries, multiple safe countries, in order to come over here and then commit crime and not be deported properly. I think is unacceptable. I think that they should be being sent back if that's the case, especially if it's being sent back to one of the Schengen countries that they've been in previously. So, like France, not a war-torn country, didn't have to cross over. But again, it's a choice. So there's that. Yeah, so far it's been blamed on incorrect paperwork. The errors were missed by multiple checks along the way. From what I can see, it could potentially also be that these people have been swept up in a process where they this person has been swept up in the process where they've been gathering people for early release, and his paperwork somehow managed to get in with theirs, and then that's how he's managed to get out. But again, I'm not certain on that one. That was just a theory that I've heard. Um, yeah, and year after year, crime keeps going up, and they wonder why. And they can't even deport a person properly. I think that things like shoplifting astronomical at the moment. I believe the most recent results came out, and they're saying that shoplifting has gone up again. And if you go into a local shop, and if you're in the UK, you'll see chocolate bars or packs of chocolates, drinks like Red Bull have security caps on them, so you can't steal them because people are going in and swiping whole shelves of them and then legging it. Like I was saying recently, my local window smashed in. All of the cigarettes, all of the booze, all the expensive like whiskey and vodka and everything was stolen, and they've only just had that replaced, like fixed and done up. And then my kind of question is basically how long is it going to be till it happens again? Because they've just had the window replaced. There's nothing else changed. And that's just my local, not to mention God knows how. And I live in a nice area, and I imagine how many people around the world, or around the country, sorry, are having much, much worse. I remember when I used to live in a little village, and they would smash in the local shop to rob the cash machine. Yeah, less common in those areas, but still, like it happens. Like, but there's a lot more protection in those areas. So I think once you start getting further and further out, there's a lot less accessibility and a lot less police availability as well. Like I know from previous experience, again, when I was in a shop and two lads came in and swiped a whole shelf of things, literally into a duffel bag, scooped it all in, called the police, and they didn't come because they weren't still there. They'd already gone. Like, so they left. No, don't have a cat. I have got a dog though. I've got a French Mastiff. Harry Davidson. Thank you. Appreciate it. You got a cat? You got a dog? What's up? The yeah. As far as the release of this person, I can understand fully why people were protesting outside of the hotel, not wanting those kind of people in your neighbourhood, around your children or around your family, friends, anyone. Like if they are when they're importing people in across the boat in the boats, and then they are just escorting them in. They haven't done any of these checks that they should do. Our new car was 1-2 days. They had a violent smash and grab, bloody off. Literally happens all over the place. Like you could be in basically any shop that has anything of value, and they'll be in there. Like whether it's cigarettes, booze, or anything basically that's worth a bit of money, is getting robbed. And it's become so common all over the country that, like I say, I can't remember exactly how much it is. I think they've got to have stolen over like £1,000 before the police even consider acting, and even then, it's like slim to nil, like your chances. So I know that certain businesses in the UK have started to collaborate together to be able to have a mass database so that they can log all of their CCTV and thefts and everything um, into one place, so that then they can compile the thefts together, because these criminals are going from one place to another to another to another, just robbing and robbing and robbing, and then obviously it's adding up. But when they're going in there, they might not be taking more than the limit, whatever. But when they can actually combine it together and get evidence of it, again, when people are going in masked, wearing hoods, hats, and everything else, and you can't see their faces, it's again even slimmer chance that anything's going to happen. You get them working in groups, so you get people going in and distracting. You'll get people going in, so have multiple people go in to distract the staff, ask questions, ask about things, while other people will come in and steal whatever they want to steal. And it is gotten more and more violent because the people who are doing it could potentially be carrying knives and syringes and things like that. And if they want to attack you, they will. And also, also, you're more likely to lose your job if you actually do something about it. So if you're employed by one of these businesses, one of these retail establishments, and you actually try and prevent a theft, you could potentially lose your job because you've then assaulted the person stealing from them. And most companies have a policy of just leave it. It's insured, go to the police. But the police do nothing but give you a crime reference number, and then insurance goes up, prices go up, and everything else gets more expensive. I wonder why. I wonder why the prices are going up. Can only imagine costs of doing business, eh? But yeah, as far as these deportations, Keir Starmer's one in, one out policy, I think that it needs some serious review. I think that anyone that's committed a crime should instantly be deported back to their own country, and anyone that's come in across the channel without going through a correct port of entry, being approved, and getting a granted asylum should be deported back to either France or the nearest, or one of or the first country that they entered that was safe, rather than right back on the border. Because I think we've seen how that goes as well. I'm pretty sure there's already been someone come back in who's been deported out of those 42. So I think that that is something that needs to have a serious look at. But again, I think I'll reiterate this point every time I talk about it. I think that Keir Starmer should just listen to Donald Trump and actually just deploy the military. I still think that they are more than capable of actually being deployed, getting out there, stopping these small boats coming across, whether it's turning them around or just picking up the people and taking them elsewhere rather than over here, because it is becoming more and more hostile along the way. I'm sure many people have seen what's happening in Dublin and in Ireland. Like, there is mass riots over there because of what's been happening, and like police cars were being set on fire. There was horses being ridden up to the fronts of the police lines, protests in hotels, bottles and everything being thrown and set on fire. So, as you can tell, tensions are very high, and I'm sure they're only going to get higher if things like this continue. When things like deporting a sex offender can't even be carried out efficiently, I think that it's a abysmal shame and shows how terrible our government has been in actually dealing with the problem. Rather than discussing it and addressing it, they've hidden from it and lied about it, and now they can continue to try and do nothing while saying that they are trying to do something. It's just infuriating to keep going around in circles. But I just wanted to get that up on there. Appreciate everyone that's put in the chat, and everyone that's going to like and subscribe. And I will speak to you all again next time. Thank you very much.